Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're inside the UFC's Performance Institute, just next to the Apex, with Billy Quarantillo, top featherweight. You're coming back off of a bit of a layoff against a big power puncher in Alex Hernandez. Where's your head at right now?
Oh yeah, Bane. You're welcome for letting you in. Security did not want to let you in.
They kept me at the door for a period of time.
We got you in here, so welcome to the Performance Institute.
Thank you.
Yeah, my head at where's my head at is I got this weight cut to go. You know, obviously fight week. We got some weight to cut, a lot of water loading, not really eating a whole lot. Getting stuck doing media, but no, I'm super excited, and it's great to see you.
That's fantastic. I mean, you know, the last time you were inside the octagon was November last year. You were going to be fighting back in New York, but obviously the injury prevented you from that. Walk me through, we've talked a little bit about the recovery process and where you're at, but just detail what went wrong and how was that physical therapy?
Yeah. So I actually did a lot at the PI. So I had to pull out of my fight against Bill Elgio. First fight I've ever had to pull out of, which completely sucked, obviously. I was expecting to get a nice paycheck this summer. So, you know, waiting for it, seeing if they're going to send me a little bit. But, yeah, I had to pull out of it. It was a pretty bad leg, knee injury. Thank God I didn't need surgery because I'd still probably be out at this point. And it was just a long process of doing ice baths every day, doing like massage therapy, electrotherapy, all this like little minor stuff that I had to do. But the biggest thing I needed was just rest. I had to basically stay off it for about 6-7 weeks, not do a lot of training. And but yeah, that's behind us now. I've had a full recovery. I'm not even worried about it. So I've been talking openly about it because there's no more issues with it. And I'm just super excited to put that behind me, get a big fight, get a big win to end the year, and look forward to 2023.
Now, talking about pulling out, obviously you got a son this year, and that's got to be great. I mean, father, did you expect? Were you guys planning? Like, how did the child come about?
Yes, Bane. Yeah, that was the only thing I pulled out of this year was that fight. We were trying, and and it took us a few months. And it's a bit of a process, obviously. You know, some people, unfortunately, never are able to conceive a child. So we were super lucky and had a little baby boy 4 months ago. He just turned 4 months the other day. So 4 months old, super motivating now to have a son now. And it's like a whole new thing that I need to provide for. So the motivation has skyrocketed. So for this fight, it's all about providing for my child and moving forward as an MMA fighter. My goals have kind of changed because now I'm doing it for him and my family.
It's more of a collective approach as opposed to individualistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, and you know, some people just don't have sex at all, right?
Yeah.
And that'll prevent it, right? You know, I mean, like me, I can't. I can't have sex to save my life, you know. But yeah, let's kind of change gears a little bit. Matt Frivola, obviously. Big fight against Ahmed Azatar, takes another undefeated record. How did you make of his performance? And tell me about just being a cornerman, right, and operating in that role.
Yeah, so as you know, not only am I a fighter, I love coaching, I love cornering. You know, Matt's been one of my teammates since 2010. We've gone back and forth. He's here right now, and we're always helping each other out. So being in his corner, being back at Madison Square Garden, and coming up and getting a huge win, first round knockout, it was super motivating for me. We're always like a friendly rivalry. We're always competitive. Like he'll get a big win, I'll get a big win. He'll try to push it, and I'll try to push it. So just being there, doing that walk again, and actually last week we were in UFC Orlando watching all those crazy fights. It just motivates me to go out there and put on a show, and I know what I'm capable of, and I'm looking forward to repeating what he put on and what I saw this past weekend and just putting on a show for the fans.
Yeah, continuing that success of that team.
Yep.
Now, talking about Orlando, how loud were those body kicks that WonderBoy was landing inside the octagon of Kevin Holland?
What a fight that was. The Kevin Holland, Stephen WonderBoy Thompson, just an absolute, probably one of the best fights I've ever seen. It's up there with the Gilbert Burns Hamzat fight. Yeah, they fought earlier this year. I was at both of them live, so I got super lucky to be at both of those fights. And yeah, WonderBoy, man, what a show he put on. Kevin Holland letting him up twice was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Most of the time when people fight WonderBoy, their goal is to get on top of him, and he got on top of him twice and let him back up. And then he started started, getting into a dogfight, and then he started shooting. So I'm sure he regrets that a little bit. But he's a man of the people, put on a show for the fans, and we all enjoyed it.
There's shades of that Spike Carlisle fight with obviously him, different context,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He didn't know that the fight was, that round was ending. But that kind of comes to the question of, right, maybe fighting smart versus fighting for the fans. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
Yeah, there's a fine line. I try to do a little bit of both. I try to fight smart. Obviously, my last Burgos fight, I was just there to be as exciting as possible. Thought I was going to get an early knockout, so kind of put all my eggs into that basket. Like, I'm hitting this dude as hard as I can. I know my shots are open, so I felt like I was going to get a huge knockout there and get a huge knockout at Madison Square Garden. Like, who doesn't dream of that as a fighter? But yeah, my approach now is I'm at the point, coming off of that loss, even though it was a very close fight, and everyone gives me props for, oh, what an exciting fight. Now it's really just about winning. So no matter what I have to do to win this fight on Saturday, whether I got to wrestle him Khabib style for 15 minutes or whether we're going to have a crazy striking fight, I'm prepared to go hard for 15 minutes. And no matter what happens, as long as I get my hand raised, that's a win. That's what I need right now. I need a huge UFC win in my career, and that's what I'm willing to do.
So in terms of Alex Hernandez, what does he bring to the octagon? How is he different from past opponents? And, when you watch that tape back of his fights, what's the biggest thing you see?
Yeah, so he's super exciting. He's a very explosive fighter. He's a good striker. He's got very tight combos. He's another one of those, very similar to Spike, where he's very, very explosive and dangerous in the first round. And he's shown in his fights that he does tend to get worn out a little bit. So my goal is, and I can talk very public about this, that my goal is to break him like it is every fight. I'm going out there. I'm going to be in his face. I'm gonna land some shots. If I got to take a shot here and there to land some shots, I'm willing to do that. And like Billy the Squid, the moniker is take him into deep waters, and that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to take him into deep waters, make him sprint with me that whole 15 minutes, and I think I can break him in the second round, maybe even in the first round. Catch him with some big shots, squid him up a little bit, and get a huge finish.
I love it. Are you going by Billy the Squid in the octagon? Can you make that call now? I've asked you about it several times.
No, I don't know. They haven't asked me if I had a nickname, so I haven't told them that. So I don't think for this fight, it's not officially Billy the Squid yet. I'm letting some of the future bandwagon fans get on board now. Everyone who sends me the squid emoji, they know the deal. But maybe I'll put him in a body lock and squid him up. That's really what it is.
And then that post fight, boom.
And then now it's like, all right, Joe Rogan. Now it's Billy the Squid from here on out.
Now, what's next? Obviously, this is December, so last pay-per-view of the year. Really awesome opportunity. 2023. What can we expect from you?
Yeah, so obviously not looking past Alexander Hernandez. It'd be silly too because he's a very experienced fighter. He's very dangerous, so I'm not looking past him. But I do want to, since I had to pull out of that fight earlier this year, this is my only one fight of 2022. I just want to have a really busy year, so I'm prepared to go out there and fight on Saturday and get ready for my next fight right away. And I'm trying to fight 3 times next year. That's usually the goal. Last year, since I got so banged up in the Burgos fight, I knew that was probably. I thought I was going to.
Could be a bit of a layoff.
I thought I was going to fight twice this year. The one time in the summer, and this time I had to pull out of that fight. I got injured at the wrong time. So yeah, I want to have a really busy 2023. I'm raising my little 4-month-old, so I got a lot to. I got some dad books to read and some things to kind of focus
education.
on. Yeah, some dad education. But I'm coaching a lot of the young amateur fighters, even some pro guys now that I'm coaching. So we're gonna have a big year at Gracie Tampa South, and of course, I'm turning 34 tomorrow, which I'm gonna be cutting weight on my birthday, which is gonna be wild.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's gonna. It is what it
no
is,
birthday cake for you.
No,
man.
no birthday cake. But I'll be celebrating on Saturday night. And yeah, just have a really busy 2023. Be as active as I can. I know I got a few more years in this fight game, so I want to make the most of it.
100%. Now, it's not too late to change your son's name to Ben. I want you to know that. You could do it. Benjamin's a great name. It's a strong name.
I was thinking about the Bane. I was thinking to put out like a Twitter poll. It was either going to be Bane or Booger Beard. The wife wasn't too keen on it.
No, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Yeah, the Bane, Booger Beard, maybe Mac Malley. I don't know. One of the MMA
one of the boys.
Yeah, one of the boys. One of the boys. But yeah, no, William Weston. We're happy with his name.
Yeah.
But
now,
thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about the Gracie Tampa South guys, because I see you all over on CFFC. Yep. Who are some of the guys that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, so we got a few guys. My main guy, Will Rentz, he's the guy that I go back and forth with. He went 5-0 as an amateur, was just smoking people, won his first pro fight. Then I think we got a little overconfident. We took a short notice fight in Atlantic City. He lost to this kid named Frank Wells, who was turns out a really good striker. They got
sometimes you don't know.
You don't know. I didn't know. You know, as a coach, you know, it was one of those things that he didn't have a full training camp. Took a really tough fight and took a tough loss. He didn't get outclassed by any sense of the imagination. So I had a really good fight, but Will Rentz is one of my main guys. We got a bunch of guys up and coming. The Romano brothers, who don't train with me anymore, they've been crushing it. They're Northeastern guys. And I got a few guys that you'll see coming up. My boy John Arce, my boy Matt Allison. Those are my 3 pros that have a big year coming up as well.
For sure. I love it. UFC 282, early prelims. I mean, the card placement, right? You went from main card to early prelims. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I'm making the most of it, and
sure.
I actually saw a post the other day, and it had all these like stud fighters, and it was from a fight like 3 years ago, and they're like, all these guys were on the prelims for this card. So you know how the UFC is. Sometimes they put bangers early to get people there early. I think this is one of those cases. And I'm the headlining of the early prelim, so I'm making the most of it. I'm posting out that we're headlining that event. But yeah, it is what it is. They pay me the same whether it's the early prelims or the main card. But yeah, it's like a lot of things in this sport where I use as motivation. If someone's saying, "Oh, you suck, you're gonna get knocked out," great, I'll use it as motivation. If you say, "Oh, Billy, you're my favorite fighter, I can't wait to see you do great," I'll use that as motivation too. So I can use any of this stuff. Just a lot of the negative stuff, I use it as a chip on my shoulder. People have been doubting me since I started training in 2010. So I just use it all as motivation.
Now, I mean, obviously over a decade of training and fighting, do you still get nervous? Are there any nerves associated with fighting, or is it business as usual at this point?
I wouldn't say nervousness. There's a different feeling than like nervousness, but there's definitely, the stakes are higher. Obviously, you know, we're at the pinnacle of the sport. A win here puts me up, probably, close to the rankings, if not, close to that top 15, top 20 rankings. Gives me more of a fan base, more of a spotlight, bigger interviews. Like I don't have to waste my time with you anymore. No. But I'll be
locked out at the. Next time.
I'm gonna miss your call when you're locked out at security of the PI. But no, just obviously what's at stake. There's a win here puts me up in that higher bracket. A huge highlight reel knockout. There's guys that have one highlight in the UFC, and the UFC will show it a zillion times.
They get pushed. Joaquin Buckley, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's also fighting at 282.
Yep. Joaquin Buckley, who I actually just saw here, who I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
That knockout was incredible. So something like that, a big knockout like that, can really propel your career to that next level. So every fight you have the opportunity, you have the platform to go out there and do something like that. So I think what I feel before the fight is that kind of thing. It's the heightened sense of
potential and capacity.
of what could happen if we make the most of this opportunity.
Do you ever get so excited you bust a nut inside the octagon? You ever just straight come?
No, Bane. I have never busted a nut inside the octagon. I don't think anyone has. I don't think anyone has ever.
I'm sure there's been one.
You think?
Come on, I'm sure there's been one. That's like the
so.
law of probability. There's like at least one scenario where a dude's like, "Oh, fucking shit."
I just think the way things play out in there, I don't know if that's ever happened.
That's fair. Not really the environment.
Good question, I guess, but yeah, I'm just not sure if it's ever happened.
Getting back to the fighting, 282. What last thing? Prediction. What can we expect? And how is this one gonna end?
Yeah, I think there's Francis Ngannou.
Oh, he's huge.
What's up, Francis? What's up? I'm good, man. I had to say hi to Francis. Obviously. You don't say hi to Francis Ngannou.
You can't. He'd come over and kill you.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. He was looking at me like, who's that guy?
He's sizing
it's
you
just
up.
Billy Q. What's up, man? No, so what to expect at UFC 282? It's going to be exciting. I'm in phenomenal shape right now. I know Alex Hernandez is in shape. He's a very, that first round, he's coming to knock my head off. I totally understand that. I'm coming there to knock his head off. I'm there to squid him up. I'm there to choke him out. I'm there to do whatever it takes to put on a show for the fans. I'm always down for a performance of the night. I'm looking for a knockout. I'm looking for a finish. And No Judges Needed, huge sponsor of mine. Shout out to No Judges Needed. And that's why they've been sponsoring me for a long time, and I've gotten a lot of finishes under their banner. And that's what I'm expected to do, and that's what I plan on doing. I think the fight's going to end with me getting my hand raised, the crowd going crazy, and another win, another 5-2 in the octagon, another huge finish, my 4th finish, known as a finisher. Yeah, a lot of text messages after congratulating me. That's what I'm expecting.
Fireworks. I love it. Billy Quarantillo, welcome back to the fucking octagon, baby.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother. I mean, thanks for
letting me in.